Okay guys, hello and welcome to the THQ podcast. In this episode, what I'm going to be talking about and maybe what question I'm going to be asking you is, do you really train hard? So I'm going to give you some pointers of what I think training hard is. Maybe you can tell yourself some home truths and then really evaluate your own training. And do you actually really train hard? Like if you're not seeing the results that you want, diet's always a factor, yeah? But if you're not building the muscle and building the body shape that you want, maybe you're not training as hard as what you think you are. So your body does not want to have a nice body shape. Right? All you do have to look around as we generally walk around day-to-day life. It's very rare that someone has a nice body shape. Not necessarily a nice body shape, but an abnormal type of body shape. Right? Most of us, especially lads, look at magazines, come to the gym, and then want to be a bodybuilder. How often do you see a bodybuilder walking around the street? Very unlikely, right? It's the same. Obviously, our body does not want to look probably how we picture it in our head without hard work, right? That's what we have to remember. So we have to remember these factors that I'm going to be talking about. Now, stop getting comfortable, right? Once you get to the point where you are comfortable, now this doesn't always necessarily mean you should be getting stronger all the time, but once you get to the point where you are comfortable with your sessions and you're going through the motions, do not expect different results. Now don't get me wrong, if you've pushed yourself, you've got yourself to a point where you're actually, you've dropped a hell of a lot of weight and you've got a nice body shape and you're feeling good, but then you want more, guess what? You have to do more. You have to train harder. You have to train smarter. You have to get more into how you're lifting the weight, understanding how you're lifting the weight. You have to get stronger, you have to push more. Everything has to be more if you want more. If you don't want more and you're happy maintaining it and you're happy going through the motions, then don't expect anything different. Just be happy with what you've got. But if you get comfortable in what you're doing and things are no longer harder or no longer challenging, or you come away from a workout and you feel, I did that, I completed it. Don't expect a different result. Don't expect anything to change. You have to keep continuously putting yourself into the position. Now, many times over the years, obviously when we have referrals to people, let's say we've got a member that does really well, done amazing in the transformation, they've inspired someone that they know, so they come along to the consultation with them, just a bit of moral support. Maybe someone's a little bit worried about coming, so they come along. So I'm here, let's say it's me in Buxton, and I do the consultation. The member that's been a member a while actually thinks, maybe I'm not actually, maybe I've let myself get a little bit comfortable. Maybe I'm not doing the things that I should be. If they remember them, what I told them right at the start. So that's what I always want you to ask yourself as a THQ member. If you had to come to your starting consultation again, would you, hand on heart, be doing everything that you normally did, that you did at the start? Because if you're not, that's exactly what you need to go. And there's no shame in that. There's no embarrassment doing that. Us as trainers, we slip back. All the time we slip back. Sometimes you don't actually realise that you've slipped back, or going through the motions, or expecting, sometimes especially, it's very common as a PT is, I'm too busy, so coming in and I'll do a couple of sets, and then that'll it, and then 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, you start to put body fat on. Well, hang on, my training is now 20 minutes, it used to be an hour. You have to really reset, and we realise that. So that's not a shameful thing to do, but sometimes I want you to take yourself back to that first consultation, remember what the head coach said. Are you doing all them things? If you're not, go back to them and do them if you're getting used to things, shall we say. So 3 times a week is enough. It doesn't seem a lot, but 3 45-minute sessions is enough if you push yourself. You have to give everything in the sessions. Now, THQ sessions is not random circuit training. Now, there's a saying on the wall at Buxton that I put on when we first opened. Now, anybody can make somebody tired. Not everybody can make somebody better. And that is how THQ grown, what we've lived by. We want to make people better, not necessarily tired. So please do not get confused with, I'm saying now that you should come in and be sweaty. That is not just by getting your heart rate up. I could tell you to run around the block and I'll get you more tired. but I want to get you fatigued. I want you to have had a good training session. There's two very, very different things. So please don't chase the intensity like a sweat session or anything like that. That crap that like generally people think that they have to achieve, like a circuit training session or whatever type of session, is that you have to get sweaty and really be tired in a big session like that. And it's not what you need for results. You need to be sensible with your training, right? But you need to push yourself hard. So yes, you need to have them days that you recover, but if you haven't pushed yourself hard, then why do you need recovery days, right? So you need to push yourself very, very hard. Probably 2 days a week at least recovery, if you're training hard. Or if you plan to train 5 days a week, personally what I would do is I would train hard and really hard, fast, high intensity work on your free THQ sessions, still going heavy, taking rest when you need it, but pushing yourself. And then if you use a strength room a couple of times a week, definitely don't follow the music, lower the volume, work on maybe a little bit more strength, but less intensity. So you look at your whole sets, a few less sets, so you look at the sets that you're doing throughout the week, and you have a good understanding of that, so you're not too fatigued. Because trust me, like, if you absolutely smash yourself 5 or 6 days a week, you'll be so hungry, and that's when you'll go off with your diet, your blood sugar will be everywhere, and you'll never recover. And unless you're going to live like an athlete, maybe sleep in the day, never drink alcohol, do like all these things for recovery, you don't really need to be smashing yourself to bits all the time in the gym. It needs to be sensible and being able to be managed so you actually can hit your calories on a regular basis, right? That is very key. So what is hard training? What's hard? Strength. Testing your strength. Should you be going stronger on certain exercises, maybe bigger compound exercises? So can you be getting stronger? Tension. Can you get better tension on the working muscle? So let's say we're doing a lateral raise. Like when you're raising up, are you just shrugging the weight up and losing attention? So can you slow it down? Like, can you feel the burn? Holding on to that movement as much as you can. Hold on to it, squeeze it. You can't hold on to it anymore, and then you stop. Like, that is hard training. Like, generally you believe that you couldn't have done one more rep. Like, supersets with no hesitation. So, like, when you do a set, so say like we do an exercise in the THQ where we switch sets. So doing like leg extension racks, straight up, straight into squats. Like, generally, no hesitation. Pushing yourself, right? Full reps, like not having a rest, like not doing shoulder press, lifting the shoulders up, having a little rest. It's constant. Lock the tension down on your shoulder press. Press, control, and you're constant that tension, and you're focused with what you're doing, and you're going heavy and you're going hard, and you generally couldn't do any more. That is hard training. Like most people, well, not most people, but a lot of people look and think, my body shape's not changing. When I start dieting, I'm starting getting skinny. That's because you're not training hard enough. You're not pushing yourself hard enough. You have to push yourself hard if you want to change your body shape. Once you get a nice body shape, when you look good in the mirror, you feel amazing. That's why I'm really so passionate about this, because I think it's the key to a body transformation. Like, you should be weight training is superior for fat loss. It's superior for fat loss. I've done loads of podcasts on it, so I'm not going to get into that now. But one of the big things is it makes you look good in the mirror. And if you look good in the mirror, you feel good about yourself, you maintain the way you're eating, and you maintain your body transformation. That's just true. So what is not training hard? Like talking through sets. If you can hold a conversation through sets, like maybe in the minute rest or something, but if you can hold a conversation through sets, you've not hit that set hard enough. Know that you could have done a few more. So for example, 40 seconds on, 20 seconds rest. I select a weight because I want to complete the 40 seconds. I want to feel like I've done it. Feel like I've done 40 seconds. Why do you want to feel like you've done 40 seconds when your trainer's telling you to push yourself? Like, I want to feel like I've completely fatigued myself when I do a THQ session. Not asked about the timing. If anyone's been in a session with me when I do a session, I'm probably the first one to rest out 6 people in the room, because I've picked a heavy weight, I pushed myself really hard, and I probably need that extra 10 seconds extra to do it. Right? Unless there's certain exercises we've asked you to go lighter and maintain the tension for longer periods of time, generally that's the best way to do it. Right? If you're never going up in a weight, like if 10's your weight, they're your weight, you do them all the time, that's your weight. Like, that's your weight. How many weeks do you say that? That's my weight. That's my weight. That's my weight. You have to then look at, like, I think it's not your weight. You're not like attached to that weight. Push yourself and go up. Right? So important, right? Stopping when it hurts as well. Like, if I could give you one tip when it comes to training your body transformation, like, when it hurts, you've got probably eight more reps in that tank. Trust me. Like, when it starts to get that burning feeling, you've probably got another 8 more reps. Trust me. And if you want a body shape, you've got to find them 8 more reps somewhere. So, weight training is a stress, right? So when people get results, when they first come in, people get results. 6-week meltdown, they get results. It's a good stress on the body, so they're burning lots of calories and they actually really start to see a good body shape. But a body gets used to that very quickly, right? So weight training being an adaptation to stress. Once your body gets used to it, guess what you have to do? Find another way to put more stress on your body, doing the things that I've just explained by training harder. That's the only way you're going to continue to see results. So take a postman, for example, who probably does 30,000 steps a day, probably more, 40,000 steps a day. Probably the first time they started doing that, maybe got that job role, they probably burnt loads of calories. They're probably starving all the time. But then guess what? If they do that job the next day for the next 10, 20 years, their body gets very used to them amount of steps. They won't have to eat half as much. They won't need to eat half as much because they're just body's getting used to it. And that's exactly the same with weight training. If you don't adapt to the stress and put more stress, your body will get used to it and your body won't change. So guys, I'm going to leave you with this. Are you really training hard? Guys, take care and I'll see you all very soon.